Hello viewers, in today's video we're going to be running down the fairy rings and where all the places that they can go. Keep in mind that this video is done before the release of Prif, so I will be amending the list because undoubtedly there will be a fairy ring in Prif, so I will put that in the description box when it's released. So we are here in Xanaris. You unlock this through just the beginning part of Fairytale 2. It's a quest. Things you're going to need to access the fairy rings is a Dramen staff or Lunar staff. In order to access all the fairy rings, you will need to have completed Death to the Dorgeshuun, Fremennik Trials, partially completed the Holy Grail, In Search of the Myreque, Monkey Madness 1, and Daero's training, Regicide, and have up to 76 agility to gain access to surrounding areas, and a one-time payoff to Trossa, just north of the Arceuus library in Corend, of 80k GP. How you do this is any of the fairy rings, you can right click and configure them. Now you'll see it also has my last destination. It will remember your last destination. So what you do is you configure them and you start to input some codes. If you want to turn it clockwise, you click on the right part of this wheel. If you want to turn it counterclockwise, you click on the left. And you have to do that for all the combinations. You need to get the letters into the little circles in the southern slots below. Once visited once, it will put the code into your travel log, which is located on the bottom right hand side of your screen. One of my favorite ways is to get to the fairy rings is using an Amulet of Glory to Edgeville and then going to the fairy rings there. You can go to the Legends Guild via the Quest Point Cape if you have that. If you have the Salve Graveyard teleport, there's one just there in Canifis. Slayer Ring, Yanille teleport house if it's in Yanille, Necklace of Passage, Artie Cloak to the Monastery, just next to the Tower of Life, Ring of Wealth to Miscellania or the GE, and you can also place one after you have finished the Fairytale 2 quest in your Superior Garden of your player-owned house. So the first one we have is AIQ. This brings us to Mudskipper Point. Some points of interest is it's close to Remington just to the northwest. You have the Asgarnian Ice Dungeon, Port Sarim is right there. And this is also a place where you can hunt mogres. The next one we have is AIR. This brings you to some islands just southeast of Ardougne. It's an empty island, there's nothing here. However, there are coordinates for a clue scroll here, as well as simply visiting this place counts as an achievement under the Medium Ardougne Diary. Next we have AJQ. I do not have that unfortunately, as you need to complete Death to the Dorgeshuun and have a light source. It brings you to a cave just south of Dorgesh-Kaan. It has cave crawlers, cave bugs, cave slimes, mollusks, and there's also an agility course in the area. Next we have AJR. This is where you're going to want to go if you want to access the Fremennik Slayer dungeon quickly. It is in Rellekka. Rellekka is just to the northwest. You see we have the golden tree, Lolly and their stew, and here's the cave entrance to the Slayer cave right here to the east. Next place we're going to go is AJS. There's really nothing much here. You will visit it on your way to the Fairy Queen's hiding place. And it has penguins, and that's really it. It's just off the coast of Miscellania. Miscellania is just this big island here to the southeast. Next we have AKQ. This will bring us to the Piscatoris Hunter area. You have the Kraken Cove over to the west. You have Chinchampas, mining spots, the Ruby Harvests, some kevets. To the northeast, you also is where the Piscatoris fishing colony is. Next, we have AKS. This brings us to Feldip Hills in the Hunter area. We have the spot where you can hunt your chompies, northeast. To the south, we have the Hunter area. We also have a gnome glider that's pretty close. That's just to the west and a little north of here. So this is good if you want to hunt some chinchampas, the red variety. Next we have ALP. This will bring you to the Lighthouse. This is just west of Rellekka and north of Barbarian Assault. You have Jossican Side. If you go down, you have Dagonoths. This is probably the quickest way to get to them. Next we have ALQ. This brings us into Mauritania, the Haunted Woods. Canifis is to the west, and Port Phasmatys is to the east. And there's a farming patch just to the northeast of here. More east than north, though. For the next one, we have ALR. This will bring you to the abyssal area where there's leeches, guardians, walkers, demons. If you don't want to use the wilderness to get to the abyssal plane there, this is another method that you can use to get your rune crafting pouches. ALS, we have McGrubber's Woods. This is just on the outskirts of Sears. We have Sears to the east, Coal Trucks to the west, the Fishing Guild to the southwest, Ranging Guild to the south, and Hemenster just to the southwest. Coming to this fairy ring is one of the things for the achievement diary medium for Kandarin. So there's all the A's for now. We're going to go to BIP. This takes us to an island just west of Mortmire. There's a stepping stone so you can access Mortmire quickly. So long as you have 50 agility. This is really handy because if you can see this little island here, that little island there, that's where the Nature Spirit Grotto is. So that makes this really handy. This island is used for a cryptic clue scroll. Next we have BIQ. This brings us to the Caridian Desert. Just northwest of here, if you bring a rope, is the Calphite Hive. So that brings us to Calphite Lair. We have Calphites, including the Calphite Queen, and the Shanty Passes to the northeast. Next we have BIS. You're only really going to want to come here if you want to have some dedicated unicorns to yourself. This brings you to the Unicorn Pen. So here we have 2 unicorns. The fairy rings are the only way to get in and out of these. And visiting this pen, these fairy ring coordinates, is an Ardougne achievement diary medium task. Next we have BJR. I cannot go there either as partial completion of the Holy Grail quest is required. This has a useless cooking range since there's better places. It boasts 3 fishing spots, sheeps, rams, cabbages, wheat field, onions. As there are other places that are better to visit for these things, past the quest, there really is no point in coming here. Next we have BJS. I cannot go there either as you need to have completed Regicide. It will put you to an island just south of Port Tiris and west to Zalandra. 76 agility is required to jump off the island to get to the mainland. Zalandra is the place you want to go if you want to try your luck against Zulrah. Zalandra is the place you want to go if you want to try your luck against Zulrah. Next we have BKP. This brings us to Feldip Hills area. This is just south of Castle Wars. You also have your Fatsy Toadies you can get here for the Chompy as well as Achy Trees. This brings us close to the Smoke Devil Dungeon, which is to the northeast. There's some Chompy hunting bird grounds right here. Teak Trees are to the west if you want to cut those, and Castle Wars are just right to the north. Next we have BKQ. This brings us to the Enchanted Valley. You can walk out here to get into the valley. If you try to go into the valley, there are attackable rabbits. If you try to woodcut any of the trees, it'll spawn a tree spirit for you to fight. Same for if you try to fish in the river, it'll cause a river troll to spawn that you can fight. And trying to mine the rocks will cause a rock golem to fight. So if you miss, for any weird reason, any of those randoms, this is the place for you. Next we have BKR. This is another one to bring you to the Mortmire Swamp, though not the safest if you want to get to Canifis. Canifis is just to the northeast, and to the southeast of here, there is the boat that you can ride to get to Barrows and Berderot. And if you want the farming patch, that's the mushroom farming patch. That's just to the northwest. If you ever want to go back to Xanaris, we have BKS. This brings you to the main fairy ring place. Here you have Impetuous Impulses by going to this wheat field here, and that's where you can hunt imps. You have Chelder to the east, if you're using her as a Slayer Master, and to the south you have the Cosmic Rune Crafting Altar, which includes some agility shortcuts to it, requiring 66 and 46 agility respectively. Next is BLP. This brings us to the Tsar area. You have the Tsar Fight Cave, Fight Pits, and the monsters all around, yay. Fight Cave and Fight Pit are accessible by following the path north and a little west, and if you go east to the main area, that will how you gain access to Inferno. Good luck on that. Next we have BLR. This will bring us to the Legends Guild. This is where the Quest Cape teleport will drop you off near. We have the Legends Guild further west. We have mining spots. You have magic and maple trees just to the northwest, Witchhaven south, and East Ardougne to the west. And there's all for the bees for now. Next is another place I cannot go to. It's CIP. This requires completion of the Fremennik Trials. Call me a noob in the comments now that I haven't done that yet. I just haven't gotten around to it. This will bring you to Miscellania, which is just southeast of that little island with the penguins, with nothing really else to do. The island of Etc. is to the east, and this just south you can use the castle if you want to manage your kingdom. Visiting this is also a requirement of the Fremennik Achievement Diary, the medium tasks. Next we have CIQ. This will bring us just northwest of Yanille. The Tree Gnome Village is just to the north here, as well as the fruit tree patch if you go west and then north. Yanille is just to the southeast. Gutanath is to the south, and Castle Wars is to the west and south. Next we have the CIR. This will bring us to the Kebis Lowlands, just south of Mart Karum. The Farming Guild is to the southwest, and visiting this is for the Koran and Kebos Achievement Diary for one of the medium tasks. The next one I have not unlocked yet. It is CIS. This brings us to Great Corand of the Arceuus Library. What you want to do is you want to go to Arceuus first, and you will see someone floating around called Trossa. You are going to want to pay them 80,000 GP. This is a one-time payment. That is to fix the fairy ring there, and you'll be able to access it. Next we have CJR. This will bring us just east of the Sinclair Mansion, so you can see the wall right here to the east. You also have Sears Village to the south. You have the agility shortcut just north and a little east that will bring you to Rellekka area. That's pretty much all it. CKP is where you go if you want to get star flowers to make magic potions. All you have to do if you want them to grow is you have to wait a minute or two, and you'll see little sprouts start to pop up and they'll bloom into flowers, and you can go ahead and pick them all. This is visited during the course of Fairytale 2 Cure a Queen, as you use star flowers to make a magic potion to help bring the queen back. Next we have CKR. This will bring us to Krumja. We have a Grak hunting area here just to the west. You have the Nature Altar a little north and way east. Taiwo and I Village is to the north, and we have Shiloh Village just here to the east. Next we have CKS. This will be your best bet if you want to get to Canifis quickly. This also brings you the closest to the mushroom patch that you're going to get. You have the Slayer Tower just to the north, Canifis to the east, Paterdomus just here over the bridge a little north and to the west, and the Mortmire Swamp is just to the south. Next is CLP. This brings us to some seemingly pointless isles just south of Draenor Village. The only thing here, unless you really want to go out of your way to woodcut 2 singular trees, is you're going to come here for hard clue scrolls. Next we have CLR. If you're wanting to do anything here, you're also going to want to bring your ninja GreeGree. You must have completed Monkey Madness 1 and Daero's training, or you will not be able to use this fairy ring. You need 48 agility along with the monkey GreeGree in order to get onto the main island via doing the last few parts of the agility course here and get into the city of Ape Atoll. Next we have CLS. This will bring us to Hazelmere's Island. So this is Hazelmere's house, and just to the west is Yanille, although one of the earlier ones that brought you close to Yanille, I'd recommend that if you actually want to use it to travel. Next we have DIP. This brings you to the Abyssal Nexus. This is where you're going to want to go if you want to fight the Abyssal Sire. I don't, There's also an appendage to the north that you can pull to get back to Lumbridge. Next is DIR. If you have finished Fairytale 2, you know if this is a place of pain. So long as you stay in this middle and do not move, these Goraks will not attack you. These Goraks hit through prayer. These Goraks hurt. Ow, ow, ow. This is one of the only other places that Goraks can be found other than God War's dungeon, thankfully, because I hate them. Now, this next one I can't go to as I do not have a superior garden in my house. It's DIQ. This is how you get to the fairy rings if you have them planted in your player-owned house, Superior's Garden. Moving right along, we have DIS. This brings us just south of the Wizard's Tower. You see, it's right here to the north. Further north is Draenor. This is a very inefficient way to get to a rune essence mine. Coming here is, via the fairy rings, is needed for a Lumbridge and Draenor achievement diary, one of the medium tasks. Next we have DJP. This brings you near the Necromancy Tower, which is just to the northeast. We have the Tower of Life just to the southwest. The Ardougne Monastery is to the west. East Ardougne is to the northwest, and Port Gassard is directly south. Next, we're going to go to DJR, brings you near the Chasm of Fire. You see that's just to the northwest in Great Corrend. This is in the northwest corner of the Shazen area currently. They are planning on eventually reworking this area, Great Corrend area, so we'll see if it stays here or if it moves. Next, we have DKP. This brings us to Crumja. This is your closest way to get to the Karambwan fishing spots. And this is also just south over the water of Musa Point. To the southeast are Gnome Gliders and the shipyard. Next we have DKR. I think this is one of my personally most visited ones, as we have Edgeville just to the west, and the GE. If you go north, you scoochy under an agility thing, which requires 21 agility in order to use. Next, we're going to go to DKS. This brings us to the Polar Hunter area. We have Keldgrim is just down here. You see the statues just to the southwest. We also have Brine Rat Cave and Rock Crabs to the west. Rellekka is also to the west. And the Hunter area is to the north. You just go down this little trail and go north. Next we have DLQ. This brings us to Caridian Desert. This one brings us north of Narda, where we have desert lizards just to the north, jackals wandering around, and Narda is to the south. Next we have DLR. This would have been one of the places we would have gone to while we were hunting for the Queen's hideout during Fairytale 2. This is in the Poison Waste. There are cute little badgers here, and you can use the telescope to view any of your friends that are fighting Zulrah, which when you use it, you have to enter a name. Unfortunately, it will not just show you random people dying, though that would be fun. DLS is the last one for this video. This brings up to the Myreque hideout. You must have completed In Search of Myreque in order to use this. And if you just scoochy south out here, the cave entrance, that'll bring you to cave, and then you just scoochy to the northeast, and that will bring you to the main little hiding passage for the Myreque hideout in the hollows. And to the north of here is the passageway up to the Hare and Dog pub in Canifis. And that covers all the places that you can currently do. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you have filled out your list a little bit. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Whether or not you like the video, feel free to pop a comment in the section below. Your feedback helps me to improve my videos. Feel free to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, depending on how you enjoyed it. And feel free to follow the links in the description below to my Patreon, Twitter, Facebook, Streamlabs, and very rare time that I actually stream on Twitch. Thank you for watching. Until the next video, ciao!